Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. If you've been watching my videos for a little while, you might know my disappointment with the finale to Arc 3. The Flames of Hope proved to be a very messy book with an unsatisfying conclusion, but it didn't have to be that way. I've done countless videos in the past discussing the book's flaws and heck, even rewriting parts of it. But I've never really covered how it should have ended, and I've honestly always thought that deserved a video of its own. In case the title didn't give you a clue, this video contains huge spoilers for the Flames of Hope in all of Arc 3, so you have been warned. Also, before we start the video, a huge shout out to my patrons. Chris Roblox Man, Drug1195, Springtail Productions, and 3 Moons. Thank you all so much for supporting me. Links to their social medias are in the description down below. Before we begin, I'd like to preface this video by saying that I do not intend to hate on the Wings of Fire series or its author in any way. This isn't me saying I'm better than Tui, but rather just giving my ideas as to the ending I would have created if I were in her shoes. I just wanted to clear that up. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into the video. One of the biggest criticisms I've seen about the Flames of Hope is how underwhelming the ending felt. The finales to the arcs tend to not be the greatest, but the Flames of Hope just really fell flat in comparison. Freedom's death scene was arguably one of the best moments of the book, and it actually made me hopeful for the ending. But we ended up just getting what felt like a rushed conclusion instead. But things could have been different. I get that Tui was trying to leave things open-ended, that way it could work either way if there was another arc or not. However, it easily could have been done in a far more interesting and satisfying way. I think inspiration should be taken from The Brightest Night, arguably the best finale so far in the series. It left things open-ended with a new story prepared, and with just enough of its foreshadowing lines removed, it could have easily stood on its own. The Dragons of Destiny were opening a school for dragons to live in harmony and understand each other, no matter their tribe. With some minor adjustments to the dialogue, this could have been the end of the series, but it had just enough teasing to still leave it open and make readers excited for more. If the story ended there, fans can imagine their own characters going to 𝙤𝙤𝙁𝙁 Academy, or even think of what could happen with the Dragons of Destiny as teachers. The ending symbolized a change in Pyra that could be left up to interpretation, or could be the future of the series, with Tui obviously going for the latter. Darkest of Dragons, on the other hand, felt like the end of the series forever for the majority of its lengthy epilogue. The ending still had us interested, but it was quite confusing and didn't provide enough information on what was confirmed to come. I think the best endings are the ones that ended like the first arc. It leaves things open while also slipping in the opportunity for more content, though it isn't promised. It foreshadowed the future protagonist of Moon by a piece of dialogue between the Dragonettes and set up her story, all while satisfyingly having the Dragonettes end their character arcs once and for all. We were left knowing these are no longer our protagonists as they've developed all they need to. With Darkest of Dragons, it didn't feel this way. We were still left with the story ending with Moon and 𝙂𝙂. And yeah, Sling was still set up with an entirely new cast of characters and whole their continent, but it was confirmed, not left alone to breathe as some minor teases for what could come. The Flames of Hope felt like a mix of both endings, but all the mistakes from Darkest of Dragons were brought over. It totally overshadowed the whole vibe of maybe we could get something, maybe we couldn't. The story feels complete, but I'm left feeling excited and wondering about the possibilities for this new change of the future. Instead, the Flames of Hope's ending was more, Pyra and Pantala are going to change a lot. Let's leave you all confused with the future and just want more information and stories for clarification and to see much needed reunions that we left out of the ending. Do you see how it feels off? Here's my take on how Arc 3 should have ended. The final chapter cuts to everything after the conflict. Everyone is already reunited and a lot of much-deserved moments of happiness between characters were shown. Blue and Cricket get their big hug, families are brought back together, and you're left feeling so warm inside. But then we cut to Luna, sitting by herself after reuniting with her loved ones and catching up with them. She solemnly sits in a room by herself, weaving a tapestry with all sorts of vivid oranges, yellows, and greens. Bumblebee stumbles in, sent by Cricket to check on her. She asks about Luna's creation, trying to peek over her shoulder to catch a glimpse of the tapestry. Luna shows it to her, and Bumblebee innocently asks who Freedom is in the picture. Tears well up in her eyes as she says, "A dragon greater than me." Freedom's legacy lives on, with Luna determined to make sure she's never forgotten. And she stays true to this. Her epilogue cuts to a couple years later with a new teacher being welcomed to Jade Mountain Academy. She's a hybrid between a Silkwing and a Highwing, a symbol of the newfound peace between the tribes. She looks at her roster for her first class, excitedly scanning the page to learn the names of all the members of the Winglets who will be attending her history class that semester. We see teases of characters like Bumblebee being mentioned, as well as Auklet, Cliff, Dusky, and other Dragonettes who will now be coming to the Academy. The teacher looks out from her roster to greet an older Moon and 𝙈𝙤𝙀 who are leaving after helping set up for the first day of school. They invite the new teacher to come with them for the yearly tree-growing ceremony, and she politely accepts. As she leaves the room, the teacher notices a decoration on the wall of her history cave that she hadn't noticed before. Tapestry woven with beautiful shades of yellow, orange, and green, taking the form of what looks to be a dragonet. The name Freedom is spelled with tiny strands of silk on the bottom. I wonder who that is, she wonders to herself. Then she suddenly remembers a book written by Cricket about a small dragon who saved the world. Could that be her? If someone that small could save the world, does that mean I could too? It suddenly hits her, and she realizes her purpose at the academy and the role she's now going to have on these dragonets' lives. I can change the world through my students. They're our future. The teacher smiles at the thought, eventually heading out of the classroom to join Moon and 𝙈𝙀𝙀 at the ceremony. But she makes a small mental note to check out the library and see if she can learn more about freedom's legacy and let it live on through the lives of her students. And that's how you end an arc. The future of Pyra is still explained, yet also left up for interpretation. There's no cut back to just Luna wondering about good and evil. We actually set up a possible future ally to the next set of protagonists. And even if there weren't another arc to be written, freedom's legacy still lives on exactly as Luna hoped. Sacrifice would actually mean something. Anyway, as a tip for this video, an arc for this kind of plot could have the potential to be a total breath of fresh air. It could have a new set of protagonists with entirely different personalities and problems than what we're used to. I've already shared my take before on pre-writing Bumblebee, 𝙁𝙁𝙁𝙁, Peacemaker, and Cliff's characters for the arc. But not only that. There's room for so much more expansion on the continents as we know it. We could possibly see life from a regular Icewing's point of view who doesn't live in the palace. What's it like in the outskirts of the kingdom? We could even have hybrid protagonists and characters. So far, there have only been 5 hybrid characters in the series. We deserve more, and the possibilities are endless. But anyway, that's it for this video. How do you guys think the Flames of Hope should have ended, or do you like what we got? Let me know down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!